What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Heavyweight Nation podcast. Today we have a very special guest all the way from Ryder. We got Ethan Laird, 2023 All-American. Ethan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on.
No problem, Ethan. No problem, man. So how's the off-season been treating you? You enjoying yourself, kind of relaxing a little bit?
Yeah, it's those first few weeks after NCAs is just, eating and drinking everything that I couldn't for the past 6 months. So it's been nice and relaxing.
Definitely. I'm sure you're enjoying it a little bit, man. So we'll get into the eating and drinking part of the podcast a little bit later. But kind of start us off, man. Talk about where your career began and a little bit about, who got you into wrestling and stuff like that.
Yeah, so my I have three brothers, two older brothers, so they always wrestled growing up. So when I was about 5, it was just natural to I was gonna start wrestling. And throughout there I just was pretty into wrestling when I was younger, and then hit that classic like middle school age where you hate wrestling because it's hard and then you want to complain about it. But once you got to high school is kind of when I really started to get into wrestling, or at least started thinking about wrestling at the next level in college. I had a really good high school coach, Coach Cook. He was just awesome. He was all about wrestling. He kept me into it. And then I didn't really have a ton of success early on in high school. I was a 4-time state qualifier, but I didn't place until my senior year. And then once my senior year came around, I wasn't getting recruited at all. But throughout that year, when I started winning some tournaments, beating some good guys, and then eventually taking second at states, that's when I started getting recruited pretty heavily. And then, recruited by like the smaller schools, like the MAC schools and whatnot. But yeah, and then Ryder was the one that I chose, one I liked the most.
Yeah. So what about Ryder stuck out to you? Because like you said, obviously Ryder is a smaller school. You got your Ryder, your Lock Haven, your NIU, schools like that in the MAC. So what kind of stuck out to you about Ryder that was like, I want to go there?
It was Nick and Angie, Coach Angie, the head coach, and Nick Bedley on the assistant. They were just my kind of guys. They're both Pennsylvania guys who like blue collar. They're just straight up honest guys. They're cool. And I just knew that they were guys that I wanted to compete for. And that if, I knew that if I went to Ryder and these guys were my coaches, then I was gonna, I was gonna like it, because there's a lot of, I've heard a lot of horror stories about guys going places and stuff. And, the coaches make them maybe not like the sport so much anymore and whatnot. And I could just see with those two guys that they were my kind of people, and I was gonna get along with them.
Yeah, and that's always good, man. Having the same kind of thoughts and opinions as your coaches is always a plus side to have, in any sport. So, what a career you've had, man. I mean, talk about especially this season, some crazy wins, some big time matches that you just kind of went out there and did the damn thing. So, talk about, this season especially, and, what you thought maybe was a little bit different about this year.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of, if you look at my college career, it's just been a steady like climb, just trying to get better every year. Freshman year I lost in the conference finals. My weight class was only taking one guy, so I missed out by one spot freshman year. Sophomore year, I had a rough regular season but won conferences and made it to a round of 16. And then nationals got canceled, and then I was blood round. And then it was kind of like, I was close, but Coach Angie is saying, good news is you're close, bad news is you're close. So it was kind of, I took a step back. We decided we were going to use my red shirt that 5th year. And that year I really, I trained hard, because I knew that I did not want to feel what it felt like to lose in the blood round again. So this past year was just, it was kind of just a confidence and a confidence thing. I just really believed I could be a national champion. And every single time I went out on the mat, I believed that I was the best guy in the country. And, just having that mindset and truly believing it it'll take you far. So it was kind of this year and other things, I got stronger, just physically matured more, just everything. And I was healthy all year, so it was just a great year.
Yeah, man. And
Yeah,
talk
it
about,
looked good.
yeah, obviously, again, looked just really, you looked absolutely dialed in this season, 100%. And you had obviously very successful MAC season as well. You win yourself the MAC title, and that's crazy to think your freshman year that the MAC only took one.
Well, my freshman year, we were in the EWL.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the MAC at my weight class this year did take one though.
Yeah, which is crazy. That's crazy for that you only take one weight.
Yeah, it's like I think there's 13, 14 teams in the MAC.
That's crazy. Out of all that, just one person in that weight goes like that doesn't seem right.
No.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. Only
Yeah, 100%.
Only because I got opponent.
So here's one thing I don't think a lot of people know, right? A lot of people don't know that you got third at World Team Trials. Like you're a dangerous freestyle wrestler. Like you go out there and send it.
Yeah.
So talk a bit about freestyle wrestling.
So it's kind of funny. Like my folk style is I'm pretty calculated and I'm stingy with points. Maybe I don't take a ton of risk, but I just try and control the match. But once I get to freestyle, it's like I just feel a lot less pressure, and I don't really care if I make a mistake. So I wrestle a lot more loose. But if I'm being honest, I've probably actually trained freestyle like maybe a month or two total, like ever. I've done
naturally good at freestyle.
I've done U23s twice, and then I've done the Open once and World Team Trials once. Those are the only tournaments I've ever done freestyle. But yeah, I mean, if you watch me wrestle, I don't do a whole lot on top and bottom. I'm a neutral wrestler, so I do translate over to freestyle pretty well.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like, and obviously it's unfortunate. We saw your draw at nationals, and you looked good, man. I feel like you pretty much cruised your way to the semis, and you met Nino there in the semis, and things didn't quite go your way, and that's obviously unfortunate. And you hate to see, a lot of people would think maybe if you had the other side and it was flip flopped on the other side of the bracket, maybe you would have wrestled Sloan a little bit better. Who knows?
Who knows?
You don't want to think about stuff like that. So, I mean, obviously, just what a year for you. So coming from a small school like Ryder, how do you think you mentally prepare to wrestle guys from Penn State, Iowa, Illinois, these schools that have these $150 million facilities with the anything that they want is at their fingertips type of mentality? How do you think you kind of out grit those guys and kind of, coming from a small school, you kind of have to pave your own way?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a little bit of that, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's like I know what I'm doing in my training, and I know that it's not like these guys can be doing some crazy more stuff. Doesn't matter how much money the program has or whatever, like more than what I'm doing. I know that, I'm working as hard as I can every day. I'm doing multiple workouts every day, and that's what everyone else is doing too. So it's not like I think that these guys have some crazy advantage. Yeah, they probably have a nicer room, maybe a nicer locker room, better cafeteria, stuff like that. But as far as I'm concerned, that's not really the stuff that's gonna, win you matches. The other thing is I was, I've been on a team with my freshman year. Chad Walsh was a senior. He and I saw him, like destroy Big Ten guys, big school guys. One of my best friends from Riders, Jesse Delvecchio. I saw him pin Ryan Deacon in the semifinals of nationals. So it's, seeing those guys, you kind of just, you don't really focus on the those like big schools. It's just a level playing field as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, for sure. And what was your mentality just going into the tournament? Like, and all, like, I know you've been there before, but really this year you said you wanted to, pass that line and get that placing. So what was your mentality going in? Did you do a lot of visualization, or I know you said you got stronger and everything?
Yeah, my mentality really was like don't make it, it's the biggest tournament of my life, but don't just focus on the fact that it's a big tournament, focus more on the fact that you're going out there and wrestling, it's hard to, combat the pressure that comes with it, especially being like, a senior. It's your last chance. Never got the job done before, but I think that when you have a successful regular season, it's a lot easier to rely and kind of lean on all the things that gave you success throughout the regular season. Once you do get to the postseason, it's like, all right, I'm not going to change like my mindset before matches. I'm not going to change that because that worked for me in the regular season. Let's just keep hammering home. Like, I'm confident. I know that, I just got to get my hand fight going, stuff like that. Just telling yourself the same things that got you to where you're at.
Yeah, man, definitely. And this summer, are you planning to, wrestle freestyle again and trying to get on that world team?
I thought about the open, thought about going, but it just seemed like a quick turnaround. Just want to, I'm just hanging out now. I'm not really ready to get back into like, training hard 1 or 2 times a day, getting right back into it. So I'm not going to do the open. And, it was kind of funny. I saw like Vito's interview after NCAAs, and he's like said something like, "I've never dreamed of being a national champ. I've always dreamed about being an Olympic champ." I'm like the opposite. I've never dreamed of being an Olympic champ. The NCAA tournament was always like the pinnacle for me. So, I'm not really. And in my viewpoint is like, if I'm not trying to make a Olympic team, then there's not really a whole lot of reason for me to go out and do the whole freestyle scene.
So does that mean that next year, when it's an Olympic year, so what's the plan? I should rephrase that. So what's the plan for you? Obviously, college wrestling's done. You want to coach? You don't want. You're done. You think you're pretty much done competing?
I'm not going to compete this spring, but you never know how it is. I know a lot of guys like I said, like Jesse Delvecchia. He once he started wrestling with guys and coaching, he's like started getting the itch a little bit again. So I could see myself, getting the itch after training, wrestling with guys in the room and wherever that's at. But maybe being like, maybe I should try my luck at the World Team Trials or whatever, or Olympic Trials. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
man, that would be awesome to see. You kind of go ahead and throw your hat into coaching. So that's exciting, man. Exciting next move for you. Excited to hear that you're not fully leaving the sport. So,
Yeah.
would the dream be to stay at Rider and kind of help boost the Rider program, or is it kind of wherever it takes you, you're going?
I'm kind of leaving it open right now. I definitely would like to coach at Rider, but I haven't put anything in stone yet. I'm
So
not.
any programs out there that need an upper weight coach, go ahead and reach out to Mr. Ethan over here. He might be in your favor.
Yeah, feel free. I'm still in the. I'd still consider myself a free agent in that aspect, but
Yeah, and
like I said,
we've seen that. We've heard that a ton this year. A ton of guys are, Trent Hilger. We know he's in the move right now, looking to see where he will end up as coaching as well. Very talented heavyweight. So, I think especially upper weights. I mean, and there's a lot of young, really talented upper weights that are getting recruited.
tons.
So there's a ton of schools that are going to need help training some of these guys.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, I love Rider. If I ended up staying at Rider, then that'd be awesome. But at the same time, I'm always down for something new. I've been here for 6 years, so if I did get a switch up, it wouldn't be the worst thing.
Yeah, man. So kind of gonna cut off the wrestling talk here. Obviously amazing career you had. Awesome. Awesome for you to be able to get on the podium this year, and I think it's cool that you never won states. I like that aspect. I think it's cool that and I like obviously same thing with Nino. Nino didn't win states ever either. He was a multiple time runner up, and we've been hearing that a lot lately. A lot of guys are not these born and bred state champions that are placing at the big tournament. But I'm gonna pass it over to Matthew. He's gonna do a little bit of Q&A session with you. I'll chime in here, when it's needed. So go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, we talk a lot about wrestling, and life's not all about wrestling. So let's get into some fun questions here. Food. We're Heavyweight Nation. We gotta ask some food questions. after NCAAs? You pack on some pounds? You eat a lot?
Yeah, I'm probably up to like in the 218, 220 range right now.
Solid.
I
Good
got, I
23
mean,
pounds. Yeah.
yeah, solid amount, but if I'm being honest, it's like I got a crazy sweet tooth. So that's one of the things that during in season, I got to try and curb that sweet tooth down and keep it controlled. But out of season, dude, I mean, I've been getting, I don't know if you guys know Crumble Cookie, but I've been getting
Yep.
Crumble Cookie like maybe weekly. Insomnia cookies, like I'm
Big
just
cookie guy, huh?
the worst food, just throwing it in my body right now.
What's
I'm ready to
the
stop though.
what's the favorite ice cream flavor?
Favorite ice cream flavor? If I'm doing ice cream, I'm doing soft serve, like just a chocolate vanilla twist. I'm not a huge ice cream guy. Maybe like a pint of Ben and Jerry's here and there. But if I'm in the mood for ice cream, I'm going to an ice cream place and I'm getting a nice big chocolate vanilla twist.
Nice
What's
and
the go-to
classic.
cookie? What's the best cookie you've
Mm.
had from Crumble? I know they change their flavors up weekly. What was the best one you've eaten?
There's this one strawberry cheesecake. It's just out of this world.
He's getting a little excited talking about it right now. But
Yeah,
that Crumble, bring back that cookie, man.
heck yeah.
It was a quality cookie. But yeah, we talked to
Definitely.
a ton of guys, and that like I feel like that's one thing all of them could say is dessert. During the season, that's the one thing they want is dessert.
Yeah, I mean it's true. It's just I think it's one of those things when you tell yourself you can't have it, just makes you want it more.
Oh, for sure, man.
So are you a big weight cut guy? What's like your weekly cut? Or are you kind of walking around at 97?
Now, I mean early in the season, I was probably walking around like 212, 215, but maybe like 3 days out, try and get down to no more than 10, 2 days out, maybe no more than six, one day out, get it down to maybe two, and then deal with whatever's left. But I've never really been big enough at 197 other than the beginning of this year to have to legitimately cut hard.
Mhm. So what's your diet like during the season? Are you somebody that eats really clean?
Well, so the past 2 years I've lived with my girlfriend and so she eats real clean, shops at Whole Foods, all that. So this whole season I was eating like, quinoa, salmon, vegetables.
She was keeping you
Taking
on
care of
Whip
track.
you.
my ass
Yeah,
into shape when it comes to my diet.
She's
So
keeping you on track.
definitely.
that was huge for me too.
I'm sure
Shout
she's
out
not
to
too
your
happy about
girlfriend, man.
all this crumble cookie you've been consuming over the last couple of
Yeah,
weeks.
she's trying to be like, all right, I'm not gonna eat any of that, like, because it's hard when it's around. You want to eat it, but yeah, I mean, I think I need to get back on her diet.
Yeah,
No,
man. Before you need
enjoy
to
it for a little first.
relax a little bit before Crumble Cookie reaches out with an NIL possibility.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
that would have been nice.
That would have been nice. I bet. I bet. That was like I saw like the week before Nationals, Chase Saldante from Michigan State posted an NIL deal with McDonald's. And I was sitting
Really,
there like, there's no way this kid actually ate that McDonald's. Like he took that bite and spit it out because he's got to make weight in a week.
dude. Some guys
Yeah,
are built different, though. I mean, the
it's
guys
true.
that they'll be 20 over, eating whatever the hell they want, and then they cut it all in 4 or 5 days, and they can still wrestle. But that's not
Or
me.
those guys that could just eat anything and don't gain any weight.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, I'm jealous of those guys.
everyone's different, but
Yeah,
that's
I'm
not me.
sure. I'm sure. It's very few and far, and usually it's those born 125 pounders, those guys
Yeah,
that like are eating whatever they want and still making 25. Those are the scary guys.
yeah,
Yeah, that's because I don't know how
Yeah,
you're 20 years old and weighing 125, but
yeah. I don't
so what
know.
do you like to do? What is a day? You don't have practice. Maybe you're on a nice little summer break or something. What are you doing in your free time?
Oh, I'm definitely hitting up the golf course, no doubt about
we've
that.
Big
been hearing that a
golf.
lot.
We've
A
been
lot of
hearing a lot of
golfing.
golf. A
Yeah,
lot of golf.
it's like I
Change
think
of
the whole
pace.
like with COVID, it was kind of that was one of the only activities you could do. I mean, I've
Yeah,
liked golf for ever since I was young, but I really saw it like skyrocket with like my friends and stuff and everything. Um, once COVID hit, but I mean, it's just one of those things where like you can go do it, drink some beers, just relax on the golf course. You're outside, but you're not, you're not killing yourself. You're just relaxing, having a good time. So I
I
mean,
love a
it's,
good golf cart ride too.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also a change of pace. Wrestling's so high paced, and you're going, and you want to relax, play some golf with the boys, hang out.
yeah. I mean, and it's fun to like, I'll get 3 other guys and we'll play like 2v2, and then it's
Mhm.
it kind of brings out that competitive like wrestler nature in you again. So you can get the best of both worlds with golf too.
Yeah, no
So
doubt.
I love it.
That's
Definitely.
definitely a good time.
Yeah.
And besides crumble, what is the best food around Ryder?
Best food around. I mean, there's a couple, at least one pizza spot that it's called King's Pizzeria, and they got they got this one slice. It's like one of their specialty slices. It's like cheese and ranch kind of as the sauce, and then like French fries and bacon on it. And I could eat a whole pie of that. I mean,
Sounds
that
good, man.
it. Whenever anyone asks me like, what's the go-to, I'm like, go to King's, get a French fry slice. It'll change your life.
Definitely. I mean, Jersey pizza is pretty good in
Not even
Yeah,
general.
it's really
close.
good.
PA pizza is way better than Jersey pizza.
I don't know where you live in
Not a
PA, but
shot.
where I
Northeast
live in
PA.
PA, the pizza ain't better.
Northeast
Not
PA.
a
It's the
shot in
pizza
hell.
capital of the United States. Telling you right now. Matt, you're
No,
gonna come down to
no.
Northeast PA where they get you a couple of slices and you can tell me what you think.
Pizza rankings, it's New York,
No
New
chance.
Jersey.
New York pizza is gross. No.
You are
Chicago.
on
Chicago
crack.
pizza is better than New York pizza. Chicago deep dish better than New York pizza. 100%. That
I'm
now that
getting
may be a hot take.
headache.
That might be more of a hot take. We had somebody on here that said they didn't like Chipotle, and that was I thought was a hot take.
I mean,
No,
I'm a Moe's guy. I don't go with Chipotle.
I'm a
I'm
Qdoba guy.
Moe's over Chipotle.
Qdoba over Chipotle.
Guys are
Can't
crazy.
can't beat that Moe's queso.
That's true. That's a factual statement. Actually, I'll give you that.
I had
Moe's
Moe's
queso
last
is
night.
good. Moe's food like Moe's is good for a burrito, but Chipotle is good for a bowl. That's the only difference.
But you see, the difference is
Here
a
we go
bowl
about
and a
the Qdoba.
burrito
Here
are
we
the
go.
same price. No. A bowl and a burrito are the same price. But if you get a bowl with 2 tortillas on the side, you can make 2 burritos with a bowl.
Yeah, but I ain't making my own burrito.
It takes 2 seconds.
Come on,
He ain't got time for that. Somebody else is doing it for him.
that's
Takes
someone's
2
job,
seconds.
not mine.
It's then you get 2 burritos for the same price.
Yeah.
I'm passionate about my food.
There better be a labor discount if I'm making my own burritos. I better get it. But I want a quarter of that hourly wage cut off. Like, but no, man. I think so. We talked a lot about your life. Let's go in a little bit of wrestling stuff. Favorite walkout song? You could pick one song to walk out to. What would it be?
This is one of those like questions that like I've everyone always wants to know like, oh, what's your walkout? And I'm like, I've never really thought like I've never had like a consistent walkout song. I've
What
never
were some
even
ones you had in
really.
the mix in college? What were some some good ones?
This past year was Gary Clark Jr. Did a cover of "Come Together" by the Beatles, but it's got a pretty hard starts out with like good guitar, so like I like an electric guitar kind of got me hyped up. So that was my go-to this year. Um, Years past, I've been Rainbow Kitten Surprise. It's called Free Fall. Probably don't even know them, but I got clowned pretty hard my freshman year because it was like they were on us about walkout songs, and like I said, I'm never like a guy that has like a walkout song off the cuff. So I chose Thunder by Imagine Dragons, and the whole team clowned me.
It's not. It
Looking
could
back
be
on it.
worse. It could be worse.
Listen, man,
I mean
I've had
that one's pretty bad though. I mean, but like just as a walkout song. But yeah, I'm bad with walkout songs. It's never been something I'm good at. I don't listen to music before I wrestle or anything. I just like to get into my own headspace. So yeah, you know.
Matt, what was your
Nice,
what
man.
was your best walkout song, Matt? What was your best
Oh,
one?
Disturbia by Rihanna. Come on. Easy.
Solid.
Easy walkout song. You hear the bum bum
Interesting
beat
one.
bum bum. It gets hype.
That's a solid
I
one.
get hype.
That's a solid one.
Who-
Solid
who's-
one, man.
Imagine going out to wrestle, you just hear Rihanna. You're like, who is this kid?
The other thing is like with the walkout song, it's kind of all about like the venue you're wrestling in. You know, if you're
Yeah.
wrestling in an empty gym, I'd rather just not have a walkout song because it's like, you know, it's like
That's
I'm
fair.
just here to do business. But
No,
like
man.
the whole
I always, no matter where we were at, I always had. You got to have a walkout song.
yeah. What was your
Yeah.
walkout song?
Oh, I had two. I cycled in between two. So one of them was the Big Show's WWE entrance song. That was but I never ran out. Like there would be tournaments where I'd like be in the finals and they would run out to the center and shake hands. I straight Darth Vader walked to the middle. So either the Big Show
Yeah, see that's
or Loud and Heavy. That was the other one.
like that's like creative, you know. That's good ideas. I've never like had that like, oh, I should come out to this. That's like,
Yeah.
and so I was always kind of,
Yeah,
I wish I did. I wish
shout
I
out to my
had.
high school teammate Caden. He told me I should walk out to the Big Show entrance song, and I did it, and then it stuck. And I walked out to the Big
That's
Show
good,
entrance
yeah.
song because why not?
Nice, man.
Why not? You're wrestling
Yeah.
heavyweight, like you got to make it fun
Yeah,
at least a
Yeah,
little
you
bit.
kind of got it.
Yeah, and what else? I also got dared one time in high school to trip on the edge of the mat while going out to make you look like a fish. Like, you got to look bad. So I tripped on the edge of the mat and I then pinned the kid in 23 seconds after I tripped on the edge of the mat.
Oh, that's
So,
great.
yeah, that was a good one
Yeah.
too. Yeah, sometimes you just got to play a little bit of mind games. Trip on the edge of your mat, your shoes kind of like loosely untied so they're looking at your shoes like this kid can't tie his wrestling shoes. But no, there's
Speaking of shoes,
Oh, yeah.
speaking of shoes though, what's your favorite wrestling shoe like you've ever worn through middle school, high school, college?
So, in my defense, all throughout my life, up until throughout senior year of high school, I played in football, baseball, and I wrestled. So I only ever wrestled from, you know, November to March every year. Um, with that being said,
You did not have those black and white Adidas shoes. Tell
with
me you
that
did.
no.
No, the mat flexes.
With that being said, I've always when I'm wrestling, I have one pair of wrestling shoes. That's all. Um, combat speeds. I like
Combat
combat speeds.
speeds.
Like that's what I wear in college.
Adidas combat speeds are on everybody's list. I swear, every
Yeah.
single person. The combat speed threes or the combat speed fours.
I
Everybody
mean that's
says
like
them.
all anyone wears these days. I mean,
Mhm.
I think a lot of schools are Adidas, and so they all have the combat speeds. I don't know. Growing up, maybe I had a pair of aggressors at one point, but those are like too bulky. The combat speeds are like perfect.
Nice, thin, light.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We've heard a lot about the side foot grip. I don't know if you know about that, but apparently
Yeah.
there's good side foot grip on the combat speeds.
The side, I don't know.
No, those are the Rulons.
Oh, those were the Rulons. You're
Yeah,
right.
those are the Rulons, yeah, and the aggressors and stuff. But
Mhm.
I hate that side grip.
No,
No,
not a
You
side
can't
grip.
drag. I'm not a side
I
grip
know.
guy either. You can't drag your foot.
Yeah, but I mean,
Good hot take there.
I wish I was one of those like wrestling shoe guys that had a bunch. I
No,
had
you don't.
friends like that, but
Oh, yeah. Listen, I know people that were like that like sucked at wrestling but had like $400 wrestling shoes. And I used to always be like, you suck.
yeah,
Like you're not very good at wrestling, but you're wearing some OG like 2003 wrestling shoes.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you were born in 2003 and you got these wrestling shoes off from 2003. I'm like, okay. Like interesting, but so I'm excited to hear this answer because I know a lot of the guys from Ryder are backwoods blue collar men. So you could take 3 of your Ryder teammates with you into the zombie apocalypse. Who would they be and why?
I'm definitely bringing Mackenzie Bell or 141. He he's also he grew up in Western PA, down outside Pittsburgh and Somerset. So and he, you know, he's one of those guys. He's real into like conspiracies. You know, he's always talking about moving out to the mountains and getting away from everything. And he's pretty crazy. So I would definitely take him. I'm gonna go former teammate Ryan Cloud, our former heavyweight from maybe 3 years ago. He's about 6'6". 275, like no body fat.
That's
just,
a big boy.
Just jack the
That is
hell
a
up.
big boy.
And he's got some he's in med school or whatever right now. So, you know, if we got some injuries, he can fix us up. So I bring him.
That's a new one. I like that.
A big
Yeah, you know.
medic? Holy shit.
Big
Yeah,
medic.
We've never heard of a big medic. Usually the medics are like, I always feel like I always wanted to see like a doctor who's like 6'6", like 270 pounds. Just like this big like
that's
brawly doctor.
That's him. Last one, I'd probably go another former teammate, Dean Sherry, former 174, 2 or 3 time national qualifier. Because he's training MMA out in California now, and he's just bad. He's a bad dude. You know, he's just a guy that when shit hits the fan, you're gonna want that guy swinging for you, not at you. So
Definitely.
Yeah,
so
man.
those would be my 3.
It's a good
That's a
lineup,
good
man.
3.
Ethan, what an amazing career you had, man. It was awesome to get to talk a little bit, about, your whole career just as a whole. It was awesome to watch you, kind of grow with the sport and everything. And hopefully one day we see you in the corner, either at Ryder or at another big wrestling school, man. So we look forward to see what the future holds. Who knows? Maybe we'll have you back on in a couple of years and we'll be saying, world champion, Olympic champion. You never know what the future holds, man. So we're excited to see.
You never know.
Excited to see what comes for you, man.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, bro. It's been another
man.
episode of the Heavyweight Nation podcast. We'll see you guys later.